I'm Savion Clay, a Goetic who summons devils and angels. I want revenge on my wicked father, Warwick Clay, who's holed up in a demon-filled fortress beneath the red sun. My shadow memento is a portable weather station. I've modified it to be my cage when I use my forte to cage adversaries. It's waiting for my father.
I'm the Cicatrix. Yes, that's the Cicatrix, and only Atrix to my closest pals. I've been to the pale and beyond, both in body and through astral projection. I'm restoring the Order of Honed Thought to glory, and determined to recruit my weaver friend Seru. He's a hard sell, but my argument is sharpened like a fine steel blade.
I'm Incalia Singale, eater of knowledge, meddler of minds. I don't want to kill you, but I'm happy to rearrange your brain furniture if I deem it necessary. I make objects, like my mask, the haunt of the wood, to help me do that. So if you see me wearing horns, you know someone, maybe even you, is in trouble.
I am Seru, a stoic weaver who splinters into fragments. I craft art and magical implements out of glass and weave together the magic of blood and fire. Even my body is like glass. It shatters and reforms when I'm struck. I am gathering materials to create a perfect magical glass sword.
Previously on The Raven Wants What You Have. Having crept their way up to the top of Gamros Tower, the vislae narrowly persuaded the powerful snail guardian of Gillimanthika the Ever-Dying to let them enter. The girl from the other shore was within, learning the concept of torment, and entertained one question from each, but took a dear, happy memory in exchange. Seru reached out to empathize with the silent Ever-Dying goddess, and was punished for it. The vislae nursed their wounds at Zero's bar, and planned for a brighter day.
All right, we're back, and got a new session. We took about a month of time in the game since the kind of harrowing events of last session, at least anguish-filled events of last session. And some of you have learned some new things, got some new abilities. Did anyone... You made some new things?
I did.
We like hearing about that.
I made a leather bracelet that allows me to have telepathy by touch, so I can touch someone and we can interact. And then I also made a small icon of a raven, since we have ravens seem to be in our lives lately, that changes a creature's emotional state. So like if the creature feels very like aggressive or angry, it calms them.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I have to touch them to make that happen, so that'll be an interesting. So yeah.
Cool. And any new incantations that you learned or anything?
I have a new incantation that is called Memory of Touch. A small handheld object, like a pen that I've written with or something like that, will do the thing that it's already done for me kind of on its own. So that's cool. And I learned a spell as well.
Cool.
Do I want to talk about that?
Sure.
So it's called Apperception, and it lets me tap into the Noosphere and learn. I can ask 3 questions and gain some knowledge. So I'm very excited about that.
Very great.
Cool. Darcy, did you learn anything new?
I did. I had a really lovely interaction with a woman named Thay Nataris at Grimm's Grammary. Yeah, and so I spent about a month learning a couple new spells. I got a Starlight Servant that I can bring, and it does sort of mundane tasks for me, but I'm imagining that once the Order of Honed Thought is really up and going, it'll be kind of my secretary, keeping minutes and notes. That's, thinking long-term here. I got something that sort of creates the sound of a human shout, where I want it to be, as we've been sneaking around a lot lately. And then I'm most excited by Dream Seeker. So it's a spell I cast upon myself when I go to bed, and it helps give me a clue. I'll have a dream that gives me a clue as to the whereabouts of a person or object that I choose. Cool. So we're going to be looking for a lot of things. And then, I'm really excited. I think that Thay Nataris is going to be a really good asset for us for sussing out new, interesting magical spells. And I got some new incantations. I got something that conjures this horrible toothy maw and does exactly what you'd expect it to. A dark god hungers. It's pretty delightful. And the footprint of a moment, where I can, just like your neighborhood has been dealing with some time instabilities, right? This lets me sort of attempt an action again, and it sort of plays with time a little bit.
Fun.
So
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. How about you,
I learned a secret called Sight, which allows me to see people know if they're a vislae or a demon or some other strange entity.
Oh, man.
The main thing I learned, and I went to Menter's, which is a huge, huge, huge library, so big, in fact, goes down so many levels that people who have gotten lost in there have descendants, and they're called the people of the stacks. So I had to kind of steer my way clear of them with the help of the librarian to find the book I was looking for, which has...
Where's this library?
Called Mentors. I think there was a big sign with your face on the cross through it, just letting you know.
No, there wasn't.
So I found the secret. I found the book, and then I've learned the secret of overcoming wards, so I can actually affect my father, but I need an object of his for it to work, and it will only work on me, because I only learned the secret. So be prepared if you cast, if we ever do find him, if you were to cast a spell on him, it would be reflected to affect some other creature elsewhere.
Wow.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. And what about Seru?
Other than doing some community work in my neighborhood, I learned, kind of amped up my fire aspect a bit. I learned a spell called Fire Sight that lets me, basically, I can see through fires nearby.
Ooh.
Wow.
I've learned the Fire Mage secret, which means that all of the fire spells that I cast cost me less sorcery. And you made a sortier for me, so I have a little extra sorcery from that.
Great.
I learned a new fort ability. Now I can shatter myself into a bunch of fragments and become a 4-inch tall version of myself that has all my normal abilities, so I can sneak around.
What?
That's delightful.
That's exciting.
And I learned an incantation called Idolatry is the Antithesis of Virtue, which lets me destroy a nearby object, even if it's magical, as long as its level is lower than 7.
Wow.
Nice.
Dang. Okay.
All right.
Wow.
I definitely want to see that shatter thing in action here. That'll be cool.
Yes.
All right. So a month has passed, and time has come for you to gather, and that particular occasion is Cicatrix's birthday, which you're having a nice gathering. You've invited some people, maybe Faye.
Yeah.
She would be more than willing to come if you invite her.
I hesitate because she's so gregarious that she might be kind of intense for my usual friends. We're sort of a mellow out over mimosas kind of party. But
That's up to you.
But I like her enough that, I absolutely invite her.
Okay. And anybody else that
Did you invite 2, 3, Kendon?
I'll invite that librarian that helped me.
Great.
Helped me, show me the way down the stairs, and
Nice.
sure that the people of the stacks didn't get me.
I think Kendon will invite herself if she's going to come, so
Fair
I
point.
figured,
that librarian's name is Donovan Quinn.
Cool. So since it's your birthday, some of us got together and thought it would be really nice to give you a surprise and try and summon for a brief visit your girlfriend, who's a ghost.
Oh my gosh, Ori!
If you're willing, we're willing to give it a shot.
That's lovely. Absolutely.
Okay, so once we've had a few drinks, some cake and everything, go to the...
It's considered impolite to eat all the cake in front of ghostly apparitions you can't also enjoy.
Create a summoning circle.
Yeah. Are we in my weird crystal hemisphere situation?
Okay, so the party's at your house.
I think so.
Great.
Sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little cramped in there, but
It could be at my house, too, since I've got all the ghosts going on. But so I know you like the ghosts. So either way.
I think my house.
All right.
Okay. So the party there in the crystal sphere. We should draw a card. We get the Defender of Secrets.
Hey, that's me.
Oh, cool.
That's appropriate.
I think we may have gotten that card last
maybe.
time too. Cool.
Yeah.
No, I shuffled them. It just is a. But it
It chose me again.
Yeah, whenever that happens, it always makes me. Oh, maybe I need to shuffle them more. And shuffling round cards is an acquired skill that I don't have. So that means +2 to all of your actions right now.
Delightful.
Perfect. Happy birthday.
So, summoning a specific creature, which is what you're going to be doing here, means you need to know their name, but you do. And normally, if that creature might possibly be unwilling, you would have to make a roll to succeed. but she's willing.
Okay.
She would like to come.
All right. I don't even create a summoning circle. I mean, a protective circle.
Yeah. Sure. Right.
Just don't mess it up and summon someone else.
Yeah.
So basically, through use of your Goetic skills and knowledge, you give the Cicatrix an hour of uninterrupted time with Ori.
Yeah.
Yay.
Very nice.
That's
And so she
lovely.
can join the party.
Delightful. Her full name is Ori Esther.
Oh.
Is her full first name, so I think that's enough to call her by.
Okay.
Super cool. Yeah, so she can't physically interact with stuff, but she can sort of float around and everything, right?
She
Yeah,
said,
what is she? How does she look?
She says she looks exactly the same, just a little more translucent. But you've seen her as a ghost before. And you can see that she kind of moves to embrace you, and you can almost feel her. And she says that I'm working on it. I'm working on manifesting physically for a short time.
That embrace is really lovely, and I'm excited, but it has a darkness to it too. As in the last session, I had lost the memory of my last embrace with her when we were both ghosts. So I get a little heart palpitations and don't quite know why. So that's so exciting, Ori. Let me know if I can help.
Yeah, and then she goes over to the table where you got some refreshments or whatever, and she says, "Look," and she moves one of the plates. Just
That's awesome. I give a round of applause. Yeah. That's delightful. I think we maybe, and you're old friends, right? Like
yeah.
Way
So
back.
it's, and I probably haven't seen her as a ghost very much, so that's probably a little bit unnerving, and not in a bad way, but it's sort of always weird to see people after their death. So that's exciting.
If things get a little awkward, then I'll use my fireside spell to look through one of the birthday candles or something, because it makes these fiery eyes appear in the flames.
Oh,
so I'd be like,
That makes it less awkward.
I'm distracting from the original awkward and making it just different.
So you're doing it for entertainment value? Okay.
I thought it might be awkward,
It's like they were all in the room. And
I know.
suddenly there's
I thought that's what you meant. We should leave them alone, but I'm gonna look through my candle. Okay, got
I can
it.
do that on my own time, thank you. So if anyone wants to interact with the NPCs we have here, they're free to, but I feel like at some point in the night, the party's dying down, but it's the usual core group of friends sort of chit-chatting as the last candles die out of the party's night. Does that seem reasonable?
Mm-hmm.
Seems great. Yeah.
When does Kendon show up?
She doesn't.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
That you know of.
Yes,
yeah.
peek into the window.
What are two cakes?
Excellent. So maybe in the last few minutes before Ori has to go back, we catch her up on sort of the big, weird, exciting, strange letter got nailed to my door. There was this master thief we interacted with. We went to the secret chamber of an undying goddess, or ever-dying goddess, and we catch her up. And I think the big questions we have now are, there's a lot that we want in the red, so I don't know if any of you have figured out a way to get there, but I may ask my girlfriend if she has any idea. I don't know that she would, but just as sort of the question of the day.
She says, there are the sun ships that travel the path of the suns. So you could always try that. But they stop at each sun, and so you between here and the red, you would pass through the gray and the pale. And you would need to interact with the guardian. Well, there is no guardian of the gray, I don't think, she says.
The pale is where she's from, right?
She's right now. And I've been there. It was lovely. We had a good time, didn't we?
She says, yes, but that doesn't do you any favors. They don't like it when people leave.
Yeah.
Do we need to... Is there anything having to do with stopping at the Pale as part of traveling in a sun ship that we would need to talk to anybody in authority there?
She says, yes, I think that there is some kind of bureaucracy that you have to pay attention to. There is a place in Saturine somewhere, an embassy or something, or you might need to go get like a visa or something.
I've heard of this before. All right, and the red probably we'll just deal with the entity as whoever we have to deal with when we show up there.
Mm-hmm. That's worked well for us.
It has.
I was very chatty with that snail. It worked out just fine.
Chatty.
I'm a snail whisperer.
Gosh. Spare us your whispers in the future.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess after the party wraps up the next day and we wake up really late, want to go to the Pale Embassy? See if we can work out visas?
Do we need a visa to just pass through? Because we don't want to go to the Pale, right? We just need to pass through. If we take the Sunship, I mean, there are other ways to travel. To travel the suns.
There also might be other ways. There might even be ways to go directly to the red.
Right, which would save us some time.
Let's try and do that first, because this seems like sort of a roundabout way of getting there, traveling. Although, fun, but maybe less directed than we need.
Well, you look lovely, darling. Thank you for the stay.
Yes.
I'll see you
it's
soon.
Wonderful seeing you.
All right. So the next morning. Yeah.
So I know this library called Menter's.
Ooh.
It has a lot of books. Donovan. Last night I should have talked to Donovan about...
Flashback. Last night when you were talking to Donovan.
So, hey, I want to do some research on the red. Do you think there's anything I can do to find about how to get to the red at Menter's?
Probably.
Right.
I'm sure there is.
All right. Well, I'll tell him we'll see him tomorrow.
Great.
I've not been to Mentors yet, so
Oh.
I don't think any of us know that you actually secretly ate the knowledge from that book.
I didn't say anything, and I was sort of surreptitious about but you might. Someone might have noticed. But you guys know me well enough to know that
Sometimes,
it's a thing I do. So
sometimes temptations are a little too.
I
don't think any of us were expecting Atrix to go, my money.
Yeah, everybody's probably more focused on her.
Well, this is for the order.
Oh, I thought she was in there by herself when she did that.
I think.
I think she waited.
Okay.
But I
know you're doing something wrong when you wait.
Oh gosh. I returned the sword. Okay.
So Mentor's the next day?
Yeah, sure. I'm interested in this library.
Okay. It's passing through Fartown and out of Fartown, because remember that Fartown is actually located in its own sort of half-world, because the rest of Saturine long ago decided that they wanted all of you crazy vislae to be in a place where if something went terribly wrong, it doesn't affect the rest of the city. So you have to pass through a gate into the rest of Saturine, and then it's a trip by rail across town to get to Mentors itself. That goes uneventfully, and Mentors is there's a place called Mentors Square that is a big wide square filled with people and all over the place. But there's also an entrance to what it must be an underground structure below the square with a big sign that just says Mentors. And as you approach there's a few other signs that say things like there's a few things that people have clearly posted themselves, like advertising like a new band or something like that. But there's a couple more official signs. They say the librarians accept gratuities. And then there's another one that says no logivores, which is what you call someone who eats knowledge.
And there's a picture of her, right?
It says no known locavores, right?
You've never been here before, so you don't know how they would know you.
All right.
But there's enough of you that they've had to make at least a sign.
You've got some... Oh, I thought it was broccoli, but it's like a piece of text in your teeth. So.
You got a V. Gives me away every time.
All right. Again, you descend down into what is obviously an underground structure that appears to be almost labyrinthine with these endless rows of books. The ceilings here are very high, so you can only reach the upper levels via these ladders on rails on either side. The corridors are only sort of as wide as it takes for the ladders to move back and forth. Otherwise, it's just books. And then as you're walking around, and Savion, who's been here before, says this is only the first level. It goes down and down and down. You realize that there's just an unimaginable amount of books here, and it's overwhelming and difficult to even imagine finding something here.
What? Oh, I heard your stomach talking.
Can you give me away? I'm being so well behaved.
All right, and here at Menters, we get the Raven, and companion means I believe that we play another. No, a companion means that we use the effects of the last card.
Okay.
So we're still operating under the effects of the Defender of Secrets there.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling pretty good today, guys. We should let me
do some research.
Yeah. Is there a place? Are there librarians we see walking around, or is it kind of hard to find?
There are many librarians here.
All right. I think I might try to find one who looks vaguely approachable.
Okay.
And see if we can't talk them into giving us a brief. We don't want to waste their time, so just point us in the right direction for studies of the Red Sun and travel there.
So there's a tall, thin gentleman there, kind of good looking, and he's got short cropped hair, and he's eating. He's got a plate of some kind of chips and dip, which seems like a really weird thing to be doing here in the library. But he's eating, and he's like, "Oh, you need some help?"
Yes, so we're looking for information on the Red Sun and travel there, and I pull out my coin purse, and I'm, pulling out some crystals to indicate that I'm willing to pay for...
Unlike me.
Yeah. I know you must be very busy.
He just puts that down on a bookshelf. Licks his fingers and and says, "Sure, no, that's my job. I'm here to help you."
Mm-hmm.
What do you need?
Bring us to a region where we can look up books on travel to the Red Sun is what we're after, and sort of the logistics of travel between suns, but specifically...
Okay. You don't have any specific titles in mind?
Nope.
Okay. He says, sure, I'll take you down to the general area where I think we can find some books on that, general books on the red, whatever you need. And he says it shouldn't require us going down too deep, so no worries there.
Okay.
And he leads you down maybe about 5 or 6 levels.
That's not too deep, huh?
And, no problem.
Where did you go?
Where there's not even any lights.
Oh, God.
My turn.
Oh, yeah, we got lights here. Don't worry about it. And he, as you're walking, He's got kind of a long coat with some big pockets in it, and he reaches into a pocket and pulls out an apple and starts eating the apple. And he says, "Oh yeah, here. So all down here and down there, crunch. You'll find all kinds of books that you need in this general area and this topic."
Okay. Thank you for your time. And I'll give them how much is a reasonable gratuity. What's
minus
crystals about $10.
Right.
minus the discourteousness?
Pardon?
I said minus this discourteousness.
Right.
Apple and chips.
Apple and chips. It offends you.
Library.
Do we say 5 crystal or something? Is that high?
That would be like giving
50?
somebody $50.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. But you can just give out orbs too, right?
Right.
Oh,
Just
okay.
crystal, yeah, just
So
orbs.
like-
Glass orbs are 100th.
Yeah, they're like a dime.
Yeah.
Okay, so I give like 10.
Just give me a crystal. That's
Right.
like $10.
Okay.
Crystal.
Give him a crystal.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
He says, if you need any more help, just come look for me. My name is Lar.
Lar. Okay. Thank you, Lar.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Split up. Start browsing titles.
How much space is this with the books? Like 2 giant rows of books?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if there's anything we can do to speed this up. I don't know if I have any abilities.
There's only one other library patron in this general area that is kind of looking down through the rows, looking at books. It's let's see. It's a man. He's got on kind of a heavy, long black coat, and he has a creature perched on his shoulder that looks sort of almost like a little monkey or a little primate like that. But the weird thing about it is that the creature has a face on the front of its head, but also the back, and it's just sort of always looking around.
Cool.
It's unsettling.
And he's looking through books.
Well, as everyone else looks through books, I'll walk up to him and chat him up.
Okay. What do you say to this man?
I'm saying, hey, we're fresh to this whole section, and wonder if you could help us out. We're looking for ways to travel to the Red. Yeah, we
Why do you want to go to the Red?
Oh, I've got a relative there I need to find. It's
You're
not
a relative in the Red?
I do. I need to get him out.
Oh.
It's my father. He's there, so I need to find him.
You need to, like, rescue him or something?
Something.
I see. Well, good luck with that.
Oh, okay. Since you were here, I wondered if you knew stuff about the Red. We're new to this entire section, so.
You should make a persuasion roll.
All right. I have I'll have an adventure of 4 altogether, and I roll 7.
Oh, nice. He says, well, there's a lot of books. I'm sure there's plenty of information that you can find here, but, I might know of a way to get to the Red. Doesn't require you to go through normal channels, he says, but it's not the easiest trip you'll ever make.
Oh. Well, we were kind of hoping to avoid taking the sun ships, because that takes a while.
It's for suckers.
What's your way?
He says, he says kind of nervously, twirling a ring that is made of like what looks like a red gem that's just been hollowed out, right? So you can fit a finger in there, and he kind of twists that, and he says, when I go to the Red,
Okay.
I am going to use...
Sorry, I just get nervous.
Yeah.
I'm using my sight. So
What's wrong with her?
I'm staring intently at that ring.
She likes jewelry.
Okay. The little primate on his shoulder is looking right at you now. And he says, she's with you?
Yeah.
You're all together?
Yeah, we're all friends here.
He says, when I go to the Red, I'm going to be ready.
What are you doing there?
The Red's the place to go to learn the really, really good battle magic and murder spells.
Ooh.
Believe you me, I've got some use for that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we all have our goals.
I see you've got a different outlook. Your little rescue mission. But anyway, what you got to do is you got to go down to the Undersling, below Saturnine.
Ooh.
That place has got its own special connection with the Red. He says, there's a fellow there. His name is Bode. You want to find Bode, and he can get you to the Red. But there might be a little bloodshed involved. But that's just the way things go in the Undersling, and that's just the way things go in the Red. Goes back to twirling his ring.
Wow.
That's very useful information, my friend. I say, my name is Savion. What may I call you?
Kadir. When are you making this trip?
Probably fairly soon if it turns out that your information is, helps us.
Yeah? You ready for the Red? Demons? Devils? Decay? Disintegration?
Any other D words?
Exactly.
I think the Cicatrix has a book open. It's like, Traveler's Guide to the Red. And she just looks very horrified. It's page after page of just misery.
I don't know if we are, actually. But, it's something we got to do.
All right, well, good luck to you, I guess.
When are you going?
He says, I've got to learn a few more secrets, I think.
To protect you from stuff in the Red?
Yeah, I'm doing a deep dive when I get there.
Okay. All right. Well, Kadir, it was so nice to meet you. I hope you find great success in your murder spell learning.
We wish you only the best murder spells.
I'm only looking for the best.
Do we want to spend more time here looking just in case?
Just to get informed.
Yeah, I would want. Yeah, but that's some good information that Kadir provided.
Yeah, I'm willing to spend kind of the rest of the afternoon seeing what we can find.
Yeah, if there are any books that are duplicates of the Red, I'm going to consider ingesting them. Like if there's 2 Traveler's Guides to the Red, I would consider.
You can search around for that. That would be an action.
Okay. So I will use a Bene in perception. And, I think I have a level in perception as well. No, I don't. Just so a venture 1 and a 7.
Okay. Yeah, it turns out that there is a very basic sort of travel log, just the most basic kinds of information, and there are in fact 3 copies of it.
I will.
They're not shelved necessarily all together.
I'm going to find the one that looks the most damaged.
Okay.
Like they might retire it soon and just have a little taste.
Okay. And suddenly all of those words are no longer there, and they're in you.
Perfect.
Oh, man.
I'm very subtle.
Weird.
Okay.
So the Red is the 7th sun, right?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to spend a little bit of hidden knowledge that says that, the best way to find something about a particular sun is to look at the 7th line of the 7th chapter of the book. So I'm just going to start grabbing books on the Red, flipping to chapter 7 and reading the 7th line and seeing if there's anything that comes together out of that.
I like that.
Okay, cool. Make your roll at, you've got, you could use intellect in this as well as your hidden knowledge if you wanted to.
I will spend 1 intellect penny to get that and 1 sortilege as well.
Okay.
Nice.
So this is a venture of 2. Assuming we're still under the sun.
Yes, it hasn't changed.
I rolled a 3 and a 9.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. So, you're not finding complete sentences or anything like that, but you're starting to pick up on some kind of connection. And it's going to take you most of the rest of this afternoon of looking and kind of gathering and synthesizing all of this information. But when you're done, you gather that the guardian of the Red Sun, and you're going to have to, since you've never been to the Red Sun before, no matter how you get there, you're going to have to at least deal with the guardian of the Red Sun. You already know that. The warden of the Red Sun, her name is Dami, and she's known to be quite mad. She revels in destruction. And the way to approach her is not necessarily to confront her with the violence and destruction that she thrives upon, but rather to show her that you understand the nature of the red and that you understand destruction and pain and things of that nature. So there are probably various ways you could do that, maybe just by destroying something in front of her.
I was wondering if I could take an action to just look up protections while in the red, sort of advice from people who've been there about what you could do to be the least affected by the negative aspects of it.
Okay.
Does that seem reasonable?
It does. And so if you spend, again, like the afternoon looking around, what you learn is as long as you don't plan on staying there for a long period of time, the actual effects of the red sun probably shouldn't have any significant effect on you. It's more like if you're there for weeks or months that the place just starts to break you down on every level.
Oh,
How long has your dad been in the red?
he's been there a long time, but he's got a rune that protects him from these sorts of things.
Which we're going to break that rune.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know where he got the rune?
I don't know.
Okay. That's interesting.
Might be a secret.
Okay. So if we're discussing what we learned over drinks at our local haunt.
Okay, so you move back, going back to the regular cafe, which is probably by this time a bar. We'll draw a new card. It's the Adept of Notions, but Adept means we draw another card. And it's the Apprentice of Mysteries, which is bad for mysteries. If you're in the mysteries family, it's a negative for you.
I drink my sorrow.
What's the card name?
We are under the effect of the Questing Knight.
Cool.
Oh, we're
Seems
kind
like us.
Yeah.
Following, of course, the hunter. So there's a theme going of what you guys are trying to do.
Hopefully we are the hunter and the questers and not the other way around.
That's a good point.
So I know where the tower is. I mean, I've always known that. So once we get into the red, well, I know where to go. It's a matter of getting there.
Yeah, it's a matter of getting into this Undersling.
Yes.
You know, I bet would know about the Undersling. Our dear number 2 friend, our Kendon.
Kendon?
I feel like she's our underworld contact.
Do you know what the Undersling is?
It's a weird but distinct district of the city that is located underneath. It's all underground. You've probably never been there. You wouldn't have any cause to go there. It's a place where might makes right, and it's a very physical place. Lots of, like, if you were interested in combat training, that's where you would go. If you were interested in becoming a professional fighter or something like that, that's where you would go to train and probably compete.
Should we check our ravens again and see if now that we found the girl from the other shore, see if they do anything together? Same as before? Something different?
So the ravens all come together, and something slightly different happens this time. The ravens all come together and form the image that they did, but then that image fades, and it becomes a flat metal surface. And in that flat metal surface, it says words spell out, but they don't. They appear sort of almost like
being scrawled,
like they're being scrawled at the time, and they say, "Use this as a key. Come find me."
Oh, man. Oh, no.
What?
I had the horrible thought that it might be your dad.
It's someone that knows all of us, because we got all of these at our houses, right? So, I don't know.
It seems a little too delicate for my father.
That's true.
He would probably just use a murder spell.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
What does it say again?
I don't...
Use this as a key, come find me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did the other stuff rhyme? I don't think it did.
I don't think it did.
Okay. So we should keep this together and with us.
Yeah.
And just keep an eye on it, right? See what happens.
So can anyone do a reading on this object now that has taken this confirmation and learn anything more? Like, did you learn some
certainly
spells
try.
of information?
I did, but it's divination about where things are, so I don't think I can get its nature. I was considering casting my my Invigilator just to watch that plate and see if it changes at any point, right? It might be kind of, I don't know, because I can ask it to just keep looking at that plate all day as we go do things, and it will whisper if something changes, but I feel
as
like...
long as it has to stay near you.
Yes, so it would have to be at my side.
Yeah, in your pocket. One of your many pockets. I can also, I can take a look at it just based on my maker stuff, but I feel like this is, it's not made by human hands. That's what we decided, right? So I've already looked at it in its other form, which lends me to think that we wouldn't learn much that way, but it sounds like it's going to help us, right? It shouldn't be super hard to see it do its thing if it's supposed to guide us.
If it wants to let us know.
If I were to summon an entity for council, would council be something here, or is that more like tactics, that sort of thing? It's not like bringing knowledge to the table that I don't have.
It's more advice than it is information, right?
So query would probably be the one I want, which I don't actually have quite yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But counsel is still something you could talk if you've got information and you're like, what do you think we should do in this situation? They might be able to provide insight, but they won't be able to bring new information. They can't tell you who made this if you don't have any clues.
I might do that then when I have a moment. Just lay out the situation then to an angel and tell them about maybe a devil actually, since it's more their home turf. And lay out the situation. We want to go to the red. We want to get there quickly. We know about this guy named Bode. Is there,
Okay, well, so you're going to go home and do this?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Once we're done with
Are you all...
you guys want to come just to see in case you have any knowledge? You can come back. Yeah, I'll give you a nightcap afterward.
Sold.
All right.
Okay, so there you all are in Savion's summoning room. He has the circle made, and you're going for a level 3 demon.
That's the highest I can go.
Okay, and you're going to try to just use persuasion, or are you going to try to bribe it?
We'll go another bribe as
Okay.
well. But persuasion...
Right,
to the extent
it still works, but hopefully bribery makes the challenge easier, so that maybe that means that you won't need to even make a roll if the bribery brings it down, so that it's at least amenable to listening to you. You say some persuasive words, which is exactly what happens. You don't even need to make a roll with your 3 levels of persuasion, and so this demon appears, and it is kind of squat and fat. It has a very broad head with 2 beady little eyes and then one great big central eye in its forehead. And when you offer it some more raw meat, right? he just kind of looks at what you're offering and he says, more.
If I have more, I'll get it.
Okay.
Got something in my fridge.
And so once you sort of double the amount of meat that we finally pile that onto maybe a platter, he says, yes, I'll talk.
Okay.
I love it when he does this. I'm sitting and watching with a red martini.
All right.
So he messily eats some, tearing at the raw flesh, and then his one eye, his big eye, doesn't ever seem to blink, but the other eyes blink too much. And he says, "All right, what?
Why don't we go to the red? We think that there is a way to go through the Undersling. We need to talk to someone named Bode. We need to go there because there's...
Who's Bode?
supposedly someone who's in the Undersling who can get us to the red.
He says, Undersling. Undersling has connection to the red. Undersling is always falling apart.
Destruction. Gotcha. So we want to go there, and we want to make sure that we have any protections in place so we don't instantly fall foul of or tripped up when we meet the Guardian. We need to travel.
Yes. He says, mortal people, red, not good mix.
And I say we need to travel to the Tower of Warwick Clay, and if I have any additional...
Who that?
My father. And if I have any other geographical information...
Father like you, mortal?
And the best and easiest way to gain travel, if you had any advice or counsel along those lines, would be very useful.
You wish to be protected from demons there.
Yes.
Nasty demons.
Yes.
Full of teeth and claws. Be ready for fight. Everything is fight in red.
All right. So we should buy some armor.
Yeah.
Yes. Soft, mushy flesh. No good in the red.
Any other counsel you could provide?
You already know how to get there.
I guess so.
Would I know, like, does the Undersling bring you to a particular spot in the red, or is it connected all over the red? I'm just wondering where it will dump us out.
Not know for sure, but probably can assume not right where you want to go. Probably will have to travel overland in the red.
What's the best way to do that?
Demon mounts.
Ooh.
Okay.
You have something that can make that happen?
Not
yes, in short bursts. I can summon demon mounts.
Some have legs, some fly.
Okay.
Move fast. You want to move fast in the red. Don't stay long. Mushy human flesh fall apart.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do some research on demon mounts too.
Yeah.
Fall right off bone.
Okay.
Lay there on the ground, rot for a while. Still tasty.
Okay, at some point I'm going to give him a dismissive sort of signal and send him on his way.
He says, okay. See you in red.
At least you didn't say eat us in red.
And he disappears.
Your name is?
Nice try.
Yeah, if only there was a way you could find out some demon names.
You guys moved too fast. I couldn't offer. Next time. I'll offer.
Right, the demon names.
It's possible that you need air fresheners for your house, though, with all this raw meat laying around.
Oh gosh, yes. Must and raw meat.
I probably have a system. Well, maybe I don't, but I should develop a system.
This needs to be a secret.
Maybe you offer the ghost sanctuary in exchange for them bringing you meat.
Oh.
I always send in an angel later for aid, and then that's the cleanup.
The cleaning.
That makes sense. Probably need an angel to come air the place out after all the
Just stand there and flap your wings.
sulfurous demon smell and stench.
It probably gives you a lot of dirty looks. It's just like, I know what you did. Judges you judgely.
Well, you're now under the effect of the endless maze, which is enhancing blue magic and the secrets family.
Ooh.
Do we want to go to the Undersling and look for Bode?
You know, I could ask the Neosphere how to quickly find Bode, if that's useful before we go wander around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can ask 3 questions about one topic. So, if we ask about the Undersling, we could ask a couple of questions, like how to find Bode, and...
Well, if the topic is getting to the red, maybe you can ask about demon mounts as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. So demon mounts and
Acquiring
how to find Bode.
And what Bode will ask in return, you know?
Okay, what does Bode
Desire.
cost, right?
The questions have to be related.
Yeah, it's one topic.
Okay, so I'm not
3
sure
questions on one topic.
if Bode and what Bode might want relates to getting demon mounts.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how broad of a topic I can do. Like, if I can do getting to the red...
It's your magic, I don't know.
You suspect, actually, that your friend Seru is right. That's
too
not,
general.
That's not one topic.
Okay.
It's 2 topics.
All right, well, shall we start with Bode?
Yeah.
Okay. So this tapping into the new sphere is a new skill for me, so I'm actually going to kind of go outside and sit in your yard. Do you have a yard?
Oh, sure.
Sure. Okay.
Is it a
You can
spooky
stay inside
yard
if you
full
want, but okay.
of overgrown shit like
Do you want to have a
statues?
third question ready?
I was thinking I would just save the third question in case a thing came
Follow
up during
up.
the first two.
Makes sense.
So this is a level 5
Right.
spell.
So here's divinations work a little bit differently than other spells,
Right.
as you know.
That's right.
So basically, the level is what determines the kind of the information that you can get. Level 5, on a scale of essentially 1 to 10, unless you're asking about the secrets to the universe, and then it's above level 10.
Okay.
But so level 5 is sort of in the middle.
Okay.
It's still going to be information that not very many people know, but it's not delving into like the level of information that only one person knows.
Okay.
Right? You're not going to get anybody's personal secrets. This is a spell. If you had the right secret, you could use extra sorcery to make the spell higher level, but you don't have that secret. But you are going to need to roll for each question.
Right.
Unlike every other kind of spell, since the divination level already factors in, you don't get to add the level of the spell into the venture.
Okay.
So you could use bene for that, and it would just be it would be one bene
Per question.
No.
For the whole thing.
They would apply to each one.
Okay, and so it costs me 5 sorcery, but I don't get it as the venture. Is what is
Correct.
the deal? Okay, then I'll also spend a bene.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend a hidden knowledge.
Okay.
Since that seems apropos. So that gives me a venture of 2, and
Maybe something you found in that book, or you mentioned the Undersling.
oh yeah, and I think that's all I have.
Does
Okay.
it come with any extra die?
It does not.
Maybe use a sword list too? Or I can give you one. Okay.
I think at level I think I'm not asking super hard questions, so I think I'm going to be okay, but we'll see.
Okay.
I might regret
Again, your
that.
venture is 2.
My venture's 2.
Okay.
And so the first question I'm going to ask is where can we find Bode?
Okay.
And I'm going to roll a 9.
Okay.
Wow.
Great. You learn that Bode can be found at a place in the Undersling called Cadavers.
Of course. Okay. And do I get a sense of what that place might be, or does that not matter?
You think it might be kind of a bar / club of some kind.
All right. So, and then the second question that I want to ask is what kind of payment does Bode typically ask for in exchange for her services?
Okay.
A venture of 2 still, right?
Yes.
And I roll 5.
Okay. You learn that what he's going to ask is for someone to fight in the ring, and that is at Cadavers.
Okay. And I'm gonna learn a little bit more about what that fighting is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, is it mental or physical or?
Okay.
And venture 2 again, and I'll roll 7.
So it is a physical fight. It is straightforward, bloody, and it doesn't have to be to the death, but it often is to the death.
Okay, great. All right, I am gonna pull myself out of this noosphere connection. And are you guys still inside? I'll come in and I will relay this information. That he can be found at Cadavers, and he's going to ask us to fight in his ring, and it is like fist brawl, blood, bone kind of.
We're going to have to hire somebody.
What?
Will one of your entities fight for you? Probably not.
They're not
It might
that
guard you,
powerful.
but
I mean, yes, I could get a demon
I
to
could
fight.
fight. I know about stuff.
Yeah.
You're so laid back. I didn't.
I'm not bragging about it. It's real.
I thought you weren't going to hurt anyone.
No, I'm not going to deliberately, specifically inflict pain on anybody.
Oh.
But I'd be like, oh, I had this person submitted. Oh, now I'm going to just twist their arm.
I
That'd be
see.
Unkind.
I see.
But,
All right.
One of the reasons why I want to make this really cool sword is so I can become a master of the sword.
Oh,
But that's stage 2.
I see.
Do you have a sword right now?
No, I've got my knife.
Okay. All right. Well, if we got a fighter, then we're good.
Perhaps we should find you? Like, is it? I guess I only had 3 questions, but I wish I could have asked whether you could use a weapon. I didn't get a sense of whether that was true or not.
I think we have the basic information we need to be having kind of an informed discussion.
Do you have armor?
No, but I tend to crack and reform when things hit me.
Okay.
That's armor-ish.
Maybe we should be prepared in case things move quickly. Like, we should buy like leather jackets and any sorts of other things.
I see.
We need to look really cool when we go to the Undersling. You're right. We need to look very badass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try and look as like we're going to kick your ass and
Yeah.
touch us. Yeah.
I thought you meant to prepare for the red.
That's actually.
Oh, okay.
Like we should have
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
we should have some kind, like probably some kind of words or
Try and come up with something.
basic
vislae.
protection.
Do you think we should go deal with Bode, get access, and then maybe have a chance to... Maybe Bode will tell us about where it'll dump us out.
Yeah, I think so, because
Shopping trip.
it can't just be like, oh, you win, you're out of here. I hope, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out.
Right.
All right.
How far away from the Undersling are we? Like it's evening now, right?
Yeah, it's another trip across town.
Okay.
But the trains run 24 hours,
Do we want to do
rain,
that
shine,
tonight?
or otherwise.
I'd be up for it tonight. I'd also, once we get to the Undersling, I'd be interested in perhaps sending my spirit form out to go check out cadavers if I know vaguely what direction it is. But
All right.
I want to take an action before we head out and refresh my pools.
Oh, great.
Pool.
Great.
Okay.
Well, we will find out what happens in the Undersling next time.
yeah.